Janet and Janice, I am so happy to have you here today. How are you?
Good, thank
Good.
you.
Thank you so much. We're honored to be here with you.
I would love to dive into your work, what you do.
I'm Janice and Janet. Um, Janet and I have both been doing spiritual work, healing work for many, many, many years. Janet is a therapist. My background is actually more in the corporate realms, but I've always been working, growing spiritually and offering healing sessions and spiritual mentorship, that kind of thing. And Janet has incorporated that into her practice as well. We came together several years ago. We always traveled in the same spiritual circles, but we did a weekend workshop together. And one of the practices that we did was soul gazing, where you look into the other person's eyes and experience what it's like to really experience someone else's soul on a very deep level.
Powerful, yeah.
Yeah, it was very powerful. And when we did that, we had both had the exact same experience because we were together dancing with pure joy and abandon in the stars. And we came
Oh,
out of it, and I said, I can't believe it's you. And so that changed the dynamic of our whole relationship, where we
Yeah.
really knew ourselves as true soul sisters, star sisters. That was years, years, years ago. Yeah.
I have chills.
And more recently, within the past 3 years, uh, I have a monthly meditation group. Janet has meditation groups, clients. And it was the same weekend that Janet received through meditation the Angel of Alternatives. And I was doing a meditation with my group, and I received the Angels of Confidence and Courage. They came together as partners. So we happened to be speaking, started talking about what came through, and Janet had always had the idea to do a deck, an angel deck, and she's like, "It's time." And we realized as we were going through our 3 year process of bringing this to Earth, that experience that we had, soul gazing with each other, was really the catalyst to start this project. It was just, really honoring the divine timing of allowing this to come through. So that's kind of our Cliff Notes, the story.
Yeah, what a beautiful beginning and
Yes.
Yes.
origin. Yeah. And then I imagine you guys did do the oracle cards.
So yes, so where we went with that is we spent a lot of time sitting and receiving the angels as they came through. So there's 23, and they came through in pairs. Each has a partnership. One is holy love, the divine feminine, the divine masculine, the holy light, obviously is very integrated beings. And the best part is they each brought in their own sacred symbol.
Oh,
So
wow.
there's 46 cards altogether, and the sacred symbol is more of the activation, the integration of the message that the angel brings forth. What were you thinking?
One of the things that we realized as we were going through, because it's funny because when now that they're created, like we realize how much of it we just backed into, right? Just following our
Yeah.
intuition, following our guidance, and not really understanding or knowing, the whole big picture of it. But as we were going through the angels, we were really understanding that one was building on the one before it, right? So we started with the angel of alternatives and choice, then it was confidence and courage, and really coming to understand by the time we got maybe to the next pair how this really is an empowerment deck. It's an ascension tool because it's really a healing teaching process to activate your own human angelic matrix. So the cards can be used in many different ways, but if like you go 1 through 46, it does really bring you through a very profound and transformational process of, activating your angelic matrix.
Wow.
And moving through that angelic self that is already present.
Hmm.
Because
Hmm.
for many of us, we are always thinking it's something outside of ourselves. and integrating your own angelic body here on earth at this specific time. Because one of the other pieces is before we really delve in with them, we had to know like who are you? Because
Mhm.
you know, you want to really know this is the council that's in the highest of alignment with us and in resonance to what we want to bring forth. And
Mhm.
so it was just a crazy story. I'll try to make it short, but you know, just receiving this finally this angelic self, this face that was just wrapped in peacock feathers, and you know, saying that they were of the sacred peacock lineage, and that they came through the ninth dimensional beings, and that they were here. They had been here long before humanity was here and had been part of the seeding, that at certain predestined periods of time that we were going through leaps of evolution, that they make themselves known and present and in so many different forms. So we feel so blessed that we were part of that. And of course, before that, I was like doodling peacocks, and I had a peacock in my driveway from my neighbor that was like two
Yeah.
miles down the road. I'm like, what? This was before I was like, what are all these peacocks showing up? It was so weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How amazing. And I love that you touched on, by the way, my mom has a ton of peacocks and I've always loved them too.
Oh,
So I love the synchronicities.
Yes.
yes.
And I love that you touch on that it's about embodying the angelic presence that we already are
Right.
and not worshiping or this idolatry of things outside of ourselves.
Yes.
We have that and we are that within us.
Correct.
Absolutely.
And I love that you brought it back to that. Yeah.
Yeah, and that each angel is a reflection of this empowerment within you.
Right. It's
You are
opening
that.
that part of
Yeah.
yourself, you know, that
Yeah.
that angelic aspect of yourself.
Yeah.
And one
Beautiful.
of the other things that's so fun, the way that they presented themselves, is they come together as one voice. But for instance, like the angel of alternatives, they came forth like we are one, but they are a tremendous multi-dimensional group. So each angel is not a singular. They are a full body of consciousness in of itself. So when working with them, you are embodying all of this consciousness within yourself, multi-dimensional, huge bodies of your own being.
Being right. And I mean, one of the things that really tickle us is the feedback that we're getting of the relationships that people are developing with the angels directly as soon as they start working with them. It's just, it really opens up for them. And that
Mhm.
even as we continue to work with them, we're getting new information all the time, right? Um, so we're feeling this is the tip, which is why the workshops are so wonderful, because we really get to have
Have
the
the
bigger
bigger
expression
expression.
of all that, of their potential. So
How powerful and multidimensional. And I love that because like you're also like I'm picking up that like you bringing a lot of integration inherently in the cards in the work of like not only like like bringing that in and calling that in, but how we work with that on a regular basis to really integrate it into our being.
right, we have we've created like symbol cards, so if people want to work with the symbols, templates of the symbols, and we did a journal. There are some journal prompts like in the guidebook, and then we did a journal with additional journal prompts. And really the goal for that was to really develop that relationship, that personal relationship. Because listen, we all know we can hear something from someone else and it really resonates as truth with us. But when you receive something directly, when you receive something right in your heart,
Mhm.
it's truly transformational, and it really stays with you.
Absolutely. How beautiful. I do want to ask you guys about your particular meditations that you each do. Yeah, tell me a little bit more about that, your group meditation offerings.
Well, up until now, we both have our separate groups, but now we are obviously starting to do things more together with the angelic light. So, but we are both open to channeling our, again, our own higher self And I can say for myself, and you have to say for you, Janice, that so for my, like, I have, it's called Divine Feminine Heart. So this beautiful group is each month now, each portal of the month, we've been pulling a card and really diving deep into it throughout the month. And so it's, allowing us to see where people can go with it and how far it can be integrated. And it's been really beautiful. So the meditations that I believe that we both do are their journey, and they're channeled usually in the moment. We usually have some, calling about what the topic is.
Get some input from the group, and then
Yes.
we align with that. And the other thing that we've also started doing is together healing sessions with the angels. So yeah, so and they've been very powerful. And again, it's very interesting because we recently did a healing session, and we'll each pick a card. We'll each, kind of tune into an angel, and I received the angel of divine wisdom. And what was the angel that you received?
I
Do you
don't
remember?
remember.
Was it universal? No, was it universal language? I
I
think.
don't know.
Anyway, so it's like if you look at the deck 1 through 46, the one that Janet picked came first, and the divine wisdom came second. But as we tuned in, we're like, no, we really have to bring in divine wisdom first because it was going to really help anchor and stabilize the energy field, right? So just really the way they work with us or work with anyone that's working with them, it's very fluid. It's very much in the moment, and they're just so present. I think that's the other thing that Janet and I are really having real experiences with their presence. And we know the frequency of them, we understand them, we experience them individually, and then the collective is just really it's a beautiful experience.
Beautiful. I was going to ask that. Like, yeah, how have you guys seen transformation in your own lives through working with the angels?
It's funny if I could just tell when
Yes.
when we were going through the angels, right? Um, the most challenging one that we could not get through was the angel of self-love.
Oh, oh, we all have that, don't we?
So, but it's interesting because until we were able to just surrender to that ourselves,
Mm,
um, you know, so we really had initiation, right, with each angel. And the other thing I think that really expanded us is as we would bring through an angel, or we'd get, okay, the angel of self discipline, right? We would bristle a little bit because it's like, well, that feels very contracting, right? But then we understood, we received, it's really about your discipleship. So many of it's wearing your robes of discipleship and knowing yourself as a divine sovereign being. It's not about austerity. It's not about self-denial. It's really knowing your full potential. And so, as we're going through this process with each angel, we're having our own understanding, our own expansion of just not seeing things through the old eyes, through the limited consciousness.
mhm. Wow.
And through that process, and it was a 3-year process, we did have a lot of additional transitions in our own lives, which we knew were no accidents, loved ones who had passed over, and changes in other areas of our life. And we found this really great graphic artist, Chinko Parikh, and she too had a lot of transitions, and we also had it translated into Spanish, and our translator also, she was just like, oh my god, this is like, this is the big. So it does take you on a journey. They do take you on a journey.
Yeah. And I think that that speaks to just the high frequency of what you are creating, what you created during that time. And as it comes down, it's going to shift a lot of stuff. And anybody who's involved as a touch point in any part of the project, yeah, it raises them up and certain things have to fall off when that
Yeah,
Yes.
happens.
absolutely.
How fascinating.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
okay,
I
so
was going to
here
ask.
is our angel of universal language, and here is its sacred symbol, which it's a little difficult to tell on this, but this is the card that kept like speaking to us so strong. So we had said that. Do we have time to read it?
Sure.
Okay.
Absolutely. I'd
So
love
first we're
to.
gonna.
I'll start with just a very short opening prayer that will tune us into that frequency.
Love it.
In this divine moment, your human and angelic selves have awakened in synchronistic mastery to guide your journey as an ambassador of the angelic light for the new earth. Divinity and grace live within you as spirit and matter converge. Welcome home.
Ooh. I felt
Okay, so this beautiful angel is of the holy light, and it comes around you and wraps its many, many multi-dimensional wings through every part of your field. The greeting. The cosmic tone of the One will meet you beyond the dimensions of language in the realm of silence arising out of the void. This is the space wherein the all-knowing, all-loving Creator's sacred voice thrives. It is the birthplace of the language of the One. This voice speaks to the heart of every being, bringing forth assistance for you to be comfortable with the universal language of silence from which all forms of communication emanate. The convergence. The angel of universal language prepares us to open for contact and communication with our galactic and universal families. It encourages us to expand the space of sacred silence that lies deep within our hearts, because this is the place where all beings are connected with universal benevolence. This angel can help create the comfort necessary for you to move through the discomfort of being with yourself, which will allow you to flow into the depths of the deepest silence within. This space holds the universal language of universal connection to the purest, deepest love. It teaches the truth that you are the embodiment of universal love, of wisdom, and of creation. Universal connection and love are the antidotes to the loneliness arising from feeling of disconnection from others here on earth and our universal family. This place of deep quiet opens the door to receive the telepathic communication of guidance, teaching, and healing through your connection with the higher part of yourself, as well as with your guides and guardians. There's more, but we'll end there.
wow. Yeah. That's quite a transmission. And very, very needed in this world right now.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you for sharing that. Yeah. Ooh. I can't wait to have you guys here. Have you been to Mount Shasta before?
We have
No.
not. It's the first trip for both of us.
Beautiful.
So
Oh,
we're
you're gonna love it.
excited. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. The second you get into like this little pocket, like north of Dunsmuir and south of like as the pass, and I can't remember the name of the pass, but it's just such like this bubble that you enter. And anytime I leave and come back, I can feel it every single time. And
Wow.
then once you're here, you just start to feel like this refinement of your own frequency. Just
Mm,
yeah,
amazing.
you're gonna love it. Thank you both so much for being here and for sharing your beautiful gifts with the world.
Thank
That
you.
was truly touching. Yeah, that's gonna float me for a few days. Thank you.
Oh,
Beautiful.
that's so beautiful.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much for all you do,
Yeah,
Lauren.
we appreciate you.
Thank you. Yeah. Um, if people want to work with you, how do they get a hold of you?
They can go to our website, which is angeliclight.love, and reach us through our website.
Okay, beautiful.
Okay.
We will include all of that in the show notes for anyone listening. And it's been a pleasure having you both here with me today. And
What a
I
gift
can't wait
for
to
us.
give you guys, thank you. Can't wait to give you a hug in July.
Yeah,
Okay.
same here. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank
Have a
you.
beautiful day. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so
Okay.
much.